Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Popeye Minute, Texas Biker Radio News. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the UPS MD-11 crash in Louisville, Kentucky at the Mohamed Ali Airport. Now, I was a 30-year aircraft worker, and just to show you, I'm in this picture here, and I am the guy that's holding that core reverser ring that attaches the core reverser to the mock-up engine, and that was the early stages of it. And of course, what hair I had back then was darker, not gray. But yeah, and so here is another view of our crew on the C-17. That's me in front, and I was a lot heavier back then. I'm the guy in front with the black, and so yeah, and so the airplane that crashed tonight is a MD-11, a UPS MD-11. And from what I could tell, it crashed when they were taking off. Now, I'm going to show you a short video. Very short, but it's going to give you an idea of what the aircraft was doing. Now, that aircraft has 3 engines, and it has the capability, the airplane, when it's fully fueled, an MD-11 can carry approximately 38,000 gallons of fuel. And some specialized versions, like the MD-11ER, have optional configurations with auxiliary fuel tanks that can carry up to 42,584 gallons. Now, this airplane was taken off, so we have to assume that it was full of fuel, the whole load. And from what the video shows, yeah, you can say, yeah, it was full. And so let's look at this real quick. This video clip I have here, and it's only about 19 seconds. And so I have to go through a deal here about copyright, and this is not copyrighted. And so we're going to look at it. And besides that, we don't make a dime off of anything we show. We have never received any money from YouTube, period. And so let's look at this pretty quick. Now, there's no sound to it. You can see it's lifting off right there, already on fire. That is the left wing engine that's on fire. It has 3 engines, 2 under each wing. 2 under each wing, and a 3rd engine in the tail. And it is the same airplane that crashed in that cornfield years ago, I think in Nebraska. So let's look at that again. You can see he's lifting off. At this point, I don't think he has any choice, but it went back down on the runway, and it just wasn't enough room. Now, this thing went into it's an industrial area at the end of the runway, and it went into these buildings. We don't know as yet how many people may have died. The update that was done about an hour ago was the usual talking heads. And I see a couple of guys in the chat there. Lee Schubrock and Ghost Eagle. How do you do? And they are subscribers. So thank you so much. like and share if you would. So this is where we're at with this. Now, we're not going to get any updates on this thing till a few days. Well, they'll get an update tomorrow. But as to what happened, now, whether it was a fan blade, now I was working on a C-17, and we went and we did in Florida. In Florida, where they have the engine test stands, a bunch of them, and they do what they call a blade containment test. And I've got some videos of that, and I'll have to break it out one day and put it onto a disc and let you see what that looks like. And it may be on YouTube. We may be able to find some of that on YouTube. But it could have been a fan blade, but generally the inlet, when you look at this inlet here, and of course our plant built that inlet on the C-17, and you look on each side of it, and that's the fan reverser. The C-17 has both. It has a fan reverser and a thrust reverser. So yeah, something else. Now, that containment ring is designed to keep the blades within that containment ring. In other words, suck it on into the engine, depending on how it comes apart. Now, can it get outside of that containment ring? Yep. Southwest Airlines had it happen. Yes, they did. Went in, and I think one lady died, and my sister-in-law was on that flight. Yeah. So it can get outside the containment ring, but I don't know. That looked to me just like a catastrophic failure. That's already on fire before he's taken off. And this has a crew of 3. There's 2 pilots and I think an engineer. There's no need for a navigator in today's aircraft. Everything is GPS. They have all kinds of instruments to navigate with. They don't need a navigator like airplanes used to have. So that's an engineer. So he's probably the first one to see it, what was going on. He's probably the first one to see it. And at that point, the pilot has to make a decision. He has to make a decision. And I think his decision was to try and get airborne. And there are fire extinguishers, but once the fuel ignites, I don't think that fire extinguisher is much good. But either he put it back down or it lost lift. Now that airplane, on the production line, that production of that aircraft ended in 2001. Let me say that again. The production line for the MD-11, when Boeing merged with McDonnell Douglas, that was the end of the road for the MD-11. 25 years ago. So that airplane's been around a long time. A long time. Now, you see, we were working on a C-17, doing some mods, stuff that needed to be fixed up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We were there. Yeah, and we were next to an MD-11 in the hangar at American Airlines, I think it was. And that MD-11 was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It was in tip-top shape. But then again, that was in the late 90s when the C-17 was going into full production. And I wasn't the mock-up inspector anymore at that point. We were putting them out. So that's what we see. That's what I see. And I think it's going to be very interesting in the next weeks and maybe months to find out what happened. And they're going to find out. They're going to find out. I have no doubt. That's my observation of what I see. The left engine, there was a catastrophic failure. It caught on fire, and it spread fuel everywhere. Crashed into those buildings, and I saw one building that wasn't on fire, but it had a big old gash in it, and I'm going to assume that was an engine coming into that building at a very high rate of speed, and probably still running, because they were running for a little bit. But they are gas guzzlers. Make no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, yeah, incredible, everybody. So, hey, I wanted to bring up a couple of things that's going to happen this weekend. And one of them is going to be here in the Fort Worth Stockyards. I can't believe this. November 7th and 8th, 2025, they're going to have the Texas Motorcycle Stampede. You know, I do remember one time when we were having trouble with the law in the Fort Worth Stockyards on our motorcycles. They didn't like us being there, and they especially didn't like any 1%ers, but they weren't causing any problems. I mean, they went ape shit is what they did, especially Fort Worth gang. And they were scared to death because some Mongols came into town. And we ended up in a, well, I'll have to find that video, and we'll show you. We were at Wilson's Leather Goods when Geezer and I went up there to see what was going on, and holy smoke, the Fort Worth gang unit had some Vagos MC guys in there, had them up against the wall. But we'll talk about that at a later date. This is about that. Also, this weekend coming up is the Progressive, and I assume that's Progressive Insurance, Lone Star Bike Rally, November 6th through November 9th in Galveston, Texas. And let me tell you, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now, I have some appointments at the VA, and I don't know whether I'll be able to make it down to Galveston, but I'll damn sure be able to make it over to the Texas Motorcycle Stampede in Fort Worth, November 7th and 8th. And so that means, and we're going to have great weather. Man, let me tell you, the weather here has been great. It's real cool in the morning in the 50s, high 50s, and then all of a sudden gets up to about 77. Good motorcycle riding weather. And you know, they really run good whenever when it's cool in the mornings. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we look forward to it. Hey, if you would like, you could join us at our church on Saturday. That would be November 8th, 12 noon at the No Frills Grill. If you'll give me a second, I will get you an address. Here we go. I've almost got it. So if that, okay, so that'd be the No Frills Grill Sports Bar, Arlington, Texas, and it's in the Lincoln Court Shopping Center, 4914 Little Road in Arlington, Texas. Kind of sandwiched in between 287, Highway 287, and I-20. If you'd like, you can join us. Our church meetings, which is for the average schmuck out there, a church is a meeting, club meeting. And so, yeah, if you'd like to join us, it's open. It's open. Just show up at 12 noon. And, hey, after we're done with the meeting, I'm going over the stockyards. And I have a feeling I'm going to drag some people with me. But that's what I'm here for tonight. Hey, look, I really love you guys that tuned in. Pass the word. Share this if you would. Subscribe. That would be a good idea. And hit that bell so you'll know when we go live. Because I can do this at any time. And you know, I always, I'm cognizant of my voice. I've had multiple cancer surgeries on my head and neck area, and they somewhere along the line they damaged my vocal cords, and that's the reason when I talk to somebody on the phone, they say, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." It just pisses me off to no end, but it's not their fault. Hey, everybody. Have a good evening. I'm going to. And I don't even want to watch the election results. But I want to make sure that Mondani is New York's new mayor. Oh, yeah. The new mayor who's just going to fuck everything up is what I'm going to see. And, hey, we'll see if we'll get a copyright hit over that music. I was told in my research that it was copyright free. We'll see. We'll see if YouTube says anything about it. If not, we'll be able to use our music that we've been using for years. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye-bye.